Hello CraftDee Family, and welcome to another tutorial by She's So Crafty. For today's DIY project, we'll be creating a hanging 6-basket wall piece that is perfect for organizing your space. Now this creation was so much fun to make, and the best thing about it is that it was made with Dollar Tree items and other supplies that were $1 or less. Now for your convenience, I provided the list of supplies and tools to make this project in the description box below. Now I am so very excited to share this tutorial with you, but before we start, I wanted to say hello and welcome back to my fantastic subscribers and visitors to my channel. Now if you are a new visitor to my channel today and you love to create fun and easy DIY projects on a budget, please go ahead and hit that subscribe button and also click that notification bell so you will be the first to know when a new DIY tutorial is ready to share with you. So now, let's just get ready to jump right into that project. Now for this project, we'll need 3 of the Halloween Beware signs from the Dollar Tree. We'll need 2 packs of the 5-gallon paint stir sticks from Lowe's for 98 cents. We'll need 6 oval wire baskets from the Dollar Tree. We'll also need 1 wire basket from the Dollar Tree, or we can use the gutter guard mesh from Home Depot. And we'll also need some tumbling blocks from the Dollar Tree. So we're going to start with the Beware signs, and the first thing we want to do is remove all of the tags and that hanger ribbon. And then what we're going to do is stack all the signs together and tape them on each end to keep them all in place. And next we want to take a ruler and we want to mark the locations of our baskets. So the first mark will be at 1 3/4 inches down from the top, and then the next 2 marks will be 8 1/4 inches apart. And then just transfer the marks onto the other side as well. Now to make sure the marks are even on each board, just mark the sides of the boards while they're still taped together. And once they're all marked, remove that tape. Now you want to lay all 3 of your boards out, and you want to lay up those marks, line up the marks, and then tape them into place. Now once they're all taped, you want to flip the entire board over, and you want to make sure those marks are transferred to that side as well. And now you just want to take your ruler and you want to make a line across the boards along those marks. And now just grab a pack of those 5-gallon paint stir sticks, and we'll be using these to secure all 3 boards together. So we're going to cut 2 sticks at about 17 inches, and then we're going to cut 1 stick at about 14 inches. And now that our sticks are cut, we can apply them to the boards, and we want to be overlapping those lines that we marked. We want to make sure that the 14-inch stick is at the top, covering where those the side where the holes are. Now here I'm just applying hot glue, or you can use wood hot glue and apply each one of the sticks into place. And now this is optional, but I'm going to apply some craft sticks in between each one of the paint stir sticks for a little extra security, and these are just little pieces I had left over from a previous project. And here are all of our sticks glued and secured into place. So now you can flip it over and remove all of the tape holding it together. And now we can mark those lines on this side on those marks that we made. So now that we have those marks made, we're going to take one of the wire baskets and we want to line the top edge of the basket to one of those lines, and we want to mark the bottom edge of the basket on our board. Now this will give us the distance between the top ledge and the bottom of the basket. This is what we'll use to place our blocks on. And now we just want to place and center all 6 of our baskets on the board. And once we have everything in place like we want it, I'm just going to mark the top center of the basket and the center of the basket's location on top of the board. And then I'm just going to label the baskets with tape from 1 to 6 so you know which order to place them back on the board, because we know that these Dollar Tree baskets can vary in size. So now that you have all 6 marks on the board, we can use these to drill our holes. So you want to make sure you use a drill bit that's large enough for zip ties to go through. Now you just want to place a scrap piece of wood underneath and then drill a pair of holes on each side of that basket mark that you made. And you'll end up with a set of holes on each side of that white mark as shown here. And then you're going to repeat this for the rest of the board. So now you can take your tumbling blocks and we're going to place together 6 sets of 4 blocks. And then using something with a straight edge, I'm going to glue 2 sets of the blocks together. And once I have those 2 sets, just stack them up and glue those together. Now I'm going to repeat this until I have 6 4-block sets. And now we can take our block sets and we're going to be adhering them to the board. Now you want to adhere these about a ½ inch above that mark you made for the bottom of the basket. And here I am just testing it out to make sure a ½ inch is pretty good. And then once you have the placement, just place it in place with hot glue. And then you can just place those remaining blocks on the board the same way. And here's everything in place. Now grab that second pack of paint sticks. Now what we're going to do is we're going to measure 2 of the sticks to be about 17 3/4 inches. We're going to make a mark there because we'll be cutting those. And for that second stick, I want to cut it in half and it ends up being just a little over 10½ inches each. So now that they're cut, we're going to take one of the long cut sticks and we're going to apply it over the top edge of the board, and we're going to be covering up those holes that were for the hang tags. Now I'm just going to use some hot glue to secure these into place. You just want to make sure it's nice and even along that top edge. And then we're going to take one of those halved sticks and I'm going to adhere it to the other long stick as shown here. We just want to make sure that the long stick is on top of that short stick and that it's at a 90-degree angle. And then we're going to repeat this on the other side. So now we're going to flip our board over and we're going to be adhering this piece on top. But first I want to add a few staples to the back of those corners of that piece we glued just to make sure they're nice and secure. Now before gluing this piece to the board, I want to measure and mark down about 6½ inches from the top. Now this is the mark that will be level with the top of the board. So now you just apply some hot glue to the back of the board and you want to place that top piece on top, making sure it lines up with that mark that you made. Repeat this on the other side and then add a few staples to secure it in place. So now that everything is dry and secure, we can prepare to paint our piece. Now I will be adding a few coats of some white chalk paint. Now this came out of a bulk package, but I just put it in a little squeeze bottle to manage it a little better. Now when you paint, you just want to make sure you get those edges as well. Now when everything is nice and dry, what we're going to do is we're going to be marking the board slats. Now these will be spaced 2 boards for every sign that you have. So we're just using the pickets on the signs to make a mark every 2 pickets. And then we're going to use a ruler to draw the lines. Now you should end up with 6 board lines when you're finished. Now to paint these lines, I'm going to be using some painter's tape and I'm going to apply along the line for a straight, nice finish. And I'll be using this elephant gray acrylic paint to apply the lines and a little bit of distressing. Now to apply the lines, you can use a brush, but I'll be applying the paint with this flat edge of a picker tool that I picked up from the Dollar Tree. Now I like the edge look that this edge will create. And then I'm going to follow up with my chip brush and I'm going to be dry brushing on some of that elephant gray color and I'm going to apply it to the plank just for a weathered look, and you want to make sure you get the edges as well. And then we're going to carefully remove that tape and we are going to repeat this for those remaining planks and also the top piece of the frame and let it dry completely. Now my camera died when I did this part, but what I did is I took some of that mesh from, or you can use a Wastebasket, and you cut it to fit that opening and then staple it into place. So now we can add our baskets and we will be using zip ties to secure these. Now all we're going to do is we're going to insert those zip ties from the back and we want to loop it through the basket's mesh. And then we're going to feed that zip tie back through the back of the board and we'll be using 2 zip ties for each basket. Now once those are nice and looped through, we're going to secure them in the back. And then we're just going to repeat this for the other baskets. And then flip it over and make sure we clip off all of those tails. So now that our baskets are nice and secure on our board, we can remove that tape. Now I like a finished appearance even on the back, so I'm just going to cover up those zip ties with duct tape so it doesn't poke through the backing that I'll be putting on. And then to hang the baskets, I'm just going to add some rope loops with Nautical rope. I'm going to start by securing them in place with a little bit of hot glue, and then once they are hot glued on, just go ahead and trim off any excess. Now once that hot glue is nice and dry, you want to add a few staples to the bottom of that rope as well. And then to cover up the back, I'm going to be adding craft paper to cover all the way around the back of the board, and I'm just going to add hot glue around the edge of the entire back of the board. And the bottom edge you just fold under to make sure it's not exposed on the other side through the pickets, and hot glue that into place as well. And we did cover our rope, so all we're going to do is cut a small slit, and then I'm going to fish out that rope. I'm just going to use my embossing tool that I have, just fish that rope out through the little slit that you made. And then once you fish out that rope, just secure that slit with a little bit of hot glue. Now, as an option, this header can be customized with Dollar Tree signs at your preference. Now, you can assign a basket to each family member and you can place family on the top. You can also use gather for gathering all of those little trinkets that you have. And here is another family option that's available at the Dollar Tree. Or how about laugh, and this would be fun for a playroom. Or you can even print your own for whatever space that you choose. And then as a final touch, you can add some tags to your baskets. Now, I made these with cardstock and a marker, but Dollar Tree sells these as well. Now, I will be using these Dollar Tree medium-size clothespins, and I will be attaching a label to each one of the baskets. And here is the final project, you guys. I am so excited about how this ensemble turned out. Now, I love anything that has to do with organizing, and these baskets are a nice size and pretty functional for most spaces in your home. And these tags make it feel even more personalized and specific for your space. And this header is ready for you to customize, or you can just leave it blank. And here's a simple printout using fruits and veggies in the baskets. And if you want to have baskets at each one of the family members, this would be such a great idea to place things that you won't forget while heading out the door. Let me know what you think in the comments. Listen, if you love DIYs on a budget, give this video a thumbs up and share this video with your friends. Make sure that you're following She's So Crafty EE on Facebook for the latest news, sneak peeks, and giveaways. Thank you so much for visiting and checking out my tutorial today. And if you like videos like these and don't want to miss the next one, make sure you are subscribed by clicking that subscribe button below and turning on that notification bell. Thanks for watching, and I will see you all next time.